Greetings, everyone. This is She Speaks Life with Aquisha Robinson. Thank you for joining me. On today, you all, we're talking about owning who you are. A lot of people that you find successful, they weren't all born into success. The people who live empower life, even through the words that they speak, they didn't just wake up and this is who they were. Everybody has a process that we go through. If you ask a lot of people who are better than they've ever been in their lives and you ask them their story, they're going to tell you, I'm not what happened to me. A lot of us want to claim and hold on and cling on to what was done to us, but we don't choose to walk in our power and authority. A lot of those same people who are better than they've ever been will tell you, I chose to turn my power into pain. I chose to take what hurt me and turn it into power. And because I made that choice, this is why I am who I am. This is why I can speak and say what I say. This is why I live my best life. All right? So I want you all to understand it's not important, okay, to hold on to who you used to be, meaning what happened to you, because you're living in stale and an outdated stage when you do this. When you're determined to walk in your power and walk in your authority, you are saying, hey, I'm not what happened to me. I'm not associated with what happened to me, meaning it's not connected to me and I don't feed it. I'm not disowning that I went through a process, but what I'm saying is this process no longer, or it does not have control over me, and I don't feed it. Anything you feed will grow. Anything that you don't choose to come out of will continue to live and stay. Okay, if you have a home and you don't clean your home and you continue to use the things that are in there that's clean, your house will become dirty. And then when you walk around and say, oh, I'm trying to find a cup, I can't find a clean cup, it's because you have not cleaned, and you need to clean out your home. You need to clean out your space. Okay, that's the same way it works for us. Just because we went through things does not give us the right to say, I'm going to hold on to these things and I'm going to pacify these things. And when somebody comes to me and offers me change, I'm going to give them a dirty cup, or I'm going to tell them I'm trying to find something that's going to help me to change. Oh, I can't find nothing. I'm going to keep drinking from this dirty cup. No, that's not what we're doing at all, period, not when we're on a growth process. Okay, so you all be reminded of that in 2020. We're not holding on to the past, because the past keeps us from growing. You all, we don't have to be hindered or held back by anything that has happened to us. If we're held back, if we hold back, it's because we want to stay in that same stagnated state, not because we have to. Okay, so be very clear about this. Don't try to accuse or blame somebody else for the reason why you're not prospering or going forth in 2020. Don't try to blame anybody for the reason why you're not succeeding. Okay, a lot of times we ask people to play the woe is me card. And I'm just sorry, I cannot play the woe is me card. I will have sympathy with you. I will understand what you're telling me. But because I am created to empower people to prosper, after you tell me your story, I'm going to give you keys, wisdom, and knowledge to help you succeed in your life, as well as asking you, if you want to change, what are you going to do to make this change occur? I am absolutely not going to sit there and play a woe is me card game with you and have a pity party with you, because as I stated before, none of us is what happened to us. We are not what happened to us. Okay? If I'm alive, I have the power to change anything. So we have to make the choices and we have to make the decisions that we live by, the things that we are going to continue to accept. I don't care how old you are, the moment you change your mindset, your life changes. A lot of people are afraid to change who they are because they're afraid to walk out of their comfort zone. Some people are fine embracing, oh, I feel this way because of that, or I feel this way because of this, or I hear you but I'm not going to do it because I'm unsure. There are so many different reasons why people are afraid to walk out and be great. There's so many different reasons. So if in 2020, if you're not a person who's made up your mind to be great, you really need to consider it. You need to consider coming out of your old ways, out of your old lifestyle, out of your old thinking. You need to come up out of it because it's time for us to prosper and it's time for us to go forth. And I don't want to seem harsh and I don't want to seem cruel, but I need people to wake up. We're greatness here, Just because something happened to us does not mean that we let it conquer us. For example, if you've known people who have been sexually harmed in their lifetimes, these people turn their pain into power by speaking on their incidents, but also allowing people to know, you can go forth and make a difference by using your voice to change something in your life that you didn't like or something that you don't like. So again, it's up to us. We will not play the woe is me card. And I'm going to say a few things here. As a grown people, as adults, it's nobody's fault for not helping us make our life better. If we choose to stay in the same lifestyle, still choose to operate how we operate, it's nobody else's fault but ours. Okay, if I decide to get a job because I know I need money to work, but you feel like you're going to just come and keep asking me over and over for my money to help you pay your bills, and yet I see you doing everything else that's not healthy for you or the lifestyle you're living, I'm not going to participate in giving you money because now I'm making you be dependent upon me taking care of you when you should depend on you taking care of you. And this is just an example to give in 2020. So anybody who it's perfectly okay, good, fine, and we should help other people. Okay, but we're taking ownership of who we are and what we're supposed to be doing and accomplishing in this life. I don't want anybody to feel bad if you help people and you see, wow, okay, well, with the money they get, they choose to do this, and that, but every month they're coming to me asking me for money to help them pay bills, or they're coming to me asking me, will I support something because they don't have the funds to support it? No, that's incorrect. Don't be angry at a person because they will not help you fail, because that's what's happening. When you support a habit that somebody is doing by way of saying, oh, here's money for this, or oh yeah, you all can do this, but you're dealing with a person who has a toxic behavior or a toxic nature, you are only helping them fail in life. And that's not the mission, nor is that the goal. Okay, so keep that in mind. And the people who've changed and who's changing, and you're making a life-changing decision that I'm no longer going to help you fail, I'm sorry. If you want to fail, and if you feel like, because a lot of people will play a game like, well, I know this person gonna help me. I remember, and I'm pretty sure my uncle don't care about me saying this, but I can remember a time when he wanted money, and so he would have us like, y'all standing right here, da 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 da, and then he would go tell somebody, man, look, these is my kids, and we got stranded, da 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 da, and the people would give him money to assist him, but the truth is we really weren't his children, and he didn't get stranded. Okay, this brother lived right around the corner, right? But That's my point. Okay? When you enable somebody that you know is choosing to fail, you're only helping them fail, and that's not the case. See, if these people would have knew my uncle, they would have said, man, you live right across the street and them your nieces. That's your nephew, right? But they didn't know the situation. All right, so you all, if you're a person who feels like a person has to give to you and keep giving to you, and you do nothing to empower yourself in 2020, if these people stop empowering you to fail, be happy, because they want you to prosper. Okay? Now, if you're working together with an individual and everything is going as it should, I'm not saying that. If you saying, well, I gave $5 more than you, we not being petty, we're not doing the petty. But if you're literally supplying, because of your care and concern, a toxic person who's doing nothing healthy with their lives, don't help them fail. Okay? Another thing, understand in 2020, and it could have been even back past, you have to have the mind and the heart to change. People can speak as much wisdom, knowledge, or whatever to you that they want to. If you don't make a choice to change, you will forever live how you are because you choose not to change your mindset. Again, we don't play the blame game. I don't care what happened to me in my past. I don't care what happened to me as a child growing up. I am not what happened to me. You are not what happened to you. And if you truly choose to understand the reality of what was happening and what was taking place in your life, you're going to choose to say, see, and know everything that happened to me was my growth purpose. Once I embrace what happened to me, once I understand what happened to me, it causes me to be empowered and to go forth and to go on. I have a voice to do what I need to do. I have vision, I have sight, I have instinct, everything that I would not have had except I went through my experiences, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm able to do, what I'm capable of doing. How do you think you can see hurt people? Because you have to be a person that's been hurt. How do you think you can see a discouraged person? Because you have had to be a person that's been discouraged in your lifetime, okay? Also, you can be spiritual, but we're not talking about that right now. So you have to be formed, you have to be birthed, and you have to be developed, and there is a process and there is a way about going about all of this taking place and all of this occurring. You know, sometimes how you can meet a person and they tell you the same sad story over and over and over again, and then you meet somebody that's a realist and they like, okay, I've been your friend for 3 years and 150 times you keep feeding and telling me the same woe is me story. Well, listen, if you want to change your life, only you can change it. I was at work a couple of days ago, and Lord knows I love this lady, but she's always complaining. You know, she'll even make up a story and make it funny. It'd be the truth, but she makes it funny, but she's always complaining about something. She's always complaining about this, complaining about that. So, you know, with the holiday weekend that people, or the holiday and the weekends that people celebrate, well, she only had to come in and work a half a day of work, right? So she's always complaining while she's at work. Well, this day you only have to work a half a day. Yes. So she comes in and she says, well, I got to clean 2, blah, 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 and I only got 4 hours to do it. It's not a lot, it's not a lot of time to get something clean. So with me hearing her over and over and over again complain about things, I said to her, well, if you don't want to leave in the 4 hours that they've given you, then why don't you just tell your boss that you're going to stay the whole 8 hours so you can make sure you get everything clean like you want to get it clean. And then she made a face at me like you know, that was unexpected. But that's the truth, ma'am. I also told her, you all get the option of having a half day. We don't have that option. So in other words, what I'm saying to you all now is don't be a complainer. Okay? Learn to speak positively. Learn to speak positive in your life. Nobody likes to be around a negative Nancy unless they're negative themselves. Okay? If you don't like something that's happening, change it. You know, she didn't, when I said that, then she rearranged how she started talking. Of course, because you just want to have something to nag about because you're so used of doing this. This is your trait that you need to break. So now let's talk about how people do that. Sometimes, I do this sometime, and I caught myself a while back and I had to stop. Like I would notice how I would bend down. I'm not having any pain at all, but I would notice myself like, oh, and I said, I'm making these sounds and I'm not having a pain at all. I need to stop this. So what am I saying? Sometimes you do things out of habit. But if you're going to grow, you're going to have to catch yourself and you're going to have to correct the incorrect things that you're doing. I'm going to end this video, you all, but I want you to know, own who you are. It's not about when you're putting the blame or when you want somebody to play the woe is me game with you, when you don't really want to come up, when you don't really want to change, so you offer excuses for why you like you are. Now, I'm not saying, if you saying, well, I'm used to operating this way, so that's why I do what I do. That's not an excuse. But if you say, well, I do this because this happened to me in my past, or I haven't been healed yet for this, so that's why I still do what I do. Those are excuses, because you can come up and change what happened to you. You can understand it and change, move on, grow, and go forward. When I tell a person, well, I'm used to doing this because, I operate like this because I was trained to do this, I'm not saying I won't change. I'm just simply telling you this is the reason why I do what I do. It's a big difference. So you all own who you are. Don't ask people to play the blame game with you or to sharing what you feel are your afflictions. Some of us are too old to still be dwelling on the past. Another thing, and then I know I got to go, but another thing is sometimes we can be selfish. Okay, we can be selfish people and we can feel like things is all about us. It's all about me. I want all the attention. I want all the time. I want you here. I want you now. I want you there. I don't want to hear anything else about you having to go over here, you having to do that. I just want you where I want you. And if you're not doing what I want you to do, going how I want you to go, saying what I want you to say, then I have an issue. You're hurting me. You're not doing what I want you to do. But sometimes, people, you have to consider it's not about what you want. Sometimes things happen because they need to happen. Sometimes people do things that they do because it's a necessity. If I don't do this, this will not happen. If I don't do that, that will not happen. You have to choose to understand why people do the things that they do and don't feel like everything is about you and it has to be your way, or if you don't feel it's right, or if you don't think it should be done, then it shouldn't happen. That's your personal opinion. That's just like if you don't choose to be healed, that's your choice. If you choose for the rest of your life to walk in a woe is me life or a woe is me state, you have no reason to blame anybody else. Everything that's happened to me, I'm turning it into power. I'm choosing to understand it. I'm blessing anybody who have did something to hurt or harm me. I'm blessing them because I understand why they were sent. I understand what the purpose was. Now, not all times will you understand the purpose, especially if you won't choose to open up. So you will blame people. You will have a pity party. You will ask people to join in and play the woe is me card. But once your mind is elevated to a different level and a different height, everything about you begins to change. Okay, you begin to evolve and you begin to grow. And in this video, you all own who you are. You're meant to walk in power, love, success, abundance. You're meant to help this world in a positive way. So don't dwell in your past. Look forward to your present. Look into your future and start motioning and making moves to go forward. You should be happy to get rid of things in your past. And how do you get rid of them? Because you understand what happened and why it was supposed to happen. There are no victims. There are no victims. That's another reason why you shouldn't be mad, because you feel like another person did something to you. Okay, let that go. We don't have victims. Everything happened for a reason. There's not one person who has did something to me that I can't love. There's not one person that I can't talk to, fellowship with, and it honestly be genuine. Okay, so you all, let's be real with ourselves. When we're still holding grudges, when we still, some people wonder why different cancers and sicknesses form in their body. It's because you're holding on to something from your past and you refuse to let it go. Even when you think you've let it go, it still affects you when people talk about certain things, because you feel you are just so important and you shouldn't have been hurt and this should have. No. Get past that and grow, because only in your growth will you evolve. And as I always say, we should be dedicated to evolving and to growing and to learning and walking in our path. So with that, you all, I'm going to end this video, and until we meet again, please always remember to operate in peace, love, and joy.